This is a presentation to discuss two bridge reconstruction projects on State Highway 95 that the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is currently designing. The purpose of this presentation is to inform the public of these projects and describe the work that is expected. This video, along with other project information, has been made available online in place of a traditional public involvement meeting. This is due to the most current health information from state, federal, and local health departments. If you have any questions, comments, or input following review of this presentation, please follow the instructions provided at the end of this video. The project team for these two projects is Jessica Bowker, the project manager, and myself, Alyssa Munden, the project leader and designer. We are both from the Department of Transportation, Northwest Region, Eau Claire, and we will be your main source of contact if you have any questions following this meeting or any time further in the design process. The agenda for this presentation will be as follows. I will begin by describing the project location to give you a better idea of where the projects are located. Next, I will discuss the project purpose and needs to explain why we feel that these projects are necessary. I will then go through the design alternatives that were proposed and then give project information on the preferred design alternative. I will then discuss the proposed detour for these projects and traffic impacts that may be caused due to construction. I will wrap up the presentation with the project schedule and information on how to send in any comments, questions, or input. The two projects are located on State Highway 95 between Alma Center and Merrillan, Wisconsin. The bridges that will be reconstructed are Halls Creek Bridge and Cisna Creek Bridge, seen here, just west of Merrillan.
Here's an aerial shot and photo of the existing Halls Creek Bridge. This is the bridge just west of the village of Merrillan.
And here's an aerial and photo of the existing Cisna Creek Bridge, which is the bridge just further west on State Highway 95. The main purpose of these two projects is safety and ensuring that safe travel along State Highway 95 is maintained. The projects are needed to address three main things. First off, the bridges were built in the 1940s, and since then many design standards for roads and bridges have been changed and updated. These projects would bring the structures up to date with the most current standards. The second need is drainage. Both existing bridges currently have very little slope to them, which makes it difficult for water to make its way off of the structures. Adjustment of the roadway profile would make it possible to include a slope along the bridges to help get water off of them more efficiently. The final need to be addressed is the structure deterioration. As mentioned, the existing bridges were built over 70 years ago, and over time they have begun to show some noticeable deterioration, and they have less than satisfactory ratings based on their most recent structure inspection. We rate bridges based off of two different scales, the first being sufficiency rating. This is on a scale of 0 being failed to 100 being excellent. With a sufficiency rating of 50 or less, reconstruction is recommended. As seen here, Halls Creek Bridge is close with a rating of 51.7, and Cisna Creek Bridge is well under at 34.8. The second scale we use is an NBI, or National Bridge Inventory rating. The bridge deck, superstructure, and substructure get rated separately on this scale, which ranges from 0 to 10, with 0 being failed and 10 being excellent. Ratings for both bridges were between 4 and 5, putting the bridges between poor and fair quality, establishing their need for replacement. At the beginning of the design process, 3 possible design alternatives were considered. 2 were outruled, those being no action and rehabilitative measures. These designs were cheaper and have shorter construction times, but they could not meet all project needs, and they would both simply delay the need for reconstruction in the future. The third alternative, reconstruction, was chosen as the preferred alternative and is the design we are continuing with. Completely reconstructing the bridges will result in the safest finished product and is a long-term fix compared to rehabilitative measures or no work at all. It also meets all 3 main needs of the project. Reconstruction work will consist of the following. First, both projects will begin with removal of the existing bridges, adjacent roadway, and guardrail. Next, new concrete bridges will be constructed, and the roadway profiles will be adjusted and repaved to tie into the new structures. New guardrail will be installed, and all exposed slopes will be seeded, fertilized, and protected with erosion mat to finish up the project. This is a preliminary plan sheet for the Halls Creek Bridge. This red area is the proposed bridge, and this blue area is the area of roadway that will be repaved. A new slope to the structure will promote drainage of water off the bridge to the west. This is the plan for Cisna Creek. Again, this red area is the proposed bridge. This blue area is the area of roadway that will be repaved, and the new slope will promote drainage off the bridge to the east. Three other main parts of design, aside from the construction plans, are environmental commitments, effects on real estate, and traffic management and staging. Coordination with the Department of Natural Resources has been initiated, and environmental commitments have been determined for both projects. The main environmental commitments for these projects are to mitigate impacted wetlands, remove the existing structures with minimal debris to protect the waterways, use special fencing to prevent harm to species in the area, and to minimize impacts to the surrounding community by welcoming public input and discussion. For real estate, work for both projects will be completed within the state-owned right-of-way, and therefore no real estate will need to be acquired. For staging, the plan is to construct the bridges separately and to complete Halls Creek Bridge first. To control traffic, a detour using Interstate 94 and State Highway 12 is proposed. During construction, the bridges over Cisna and Halls Creek will be out, and the sections of State Highway 95 will be closed at the bridge locations. A detour was chosen instead of bypasses due to savings in cost and construction time. A detour will also provide a safer working environment for construction workers. The proposed state detour is shown here, and as previously stated, will use Interstate 94 and State Highway 12. For local traffic, shorter routes using county and town roads are available, but they will not be signed by the state. The route shown here using Old 95 Road, Jeffrey Road, and Castle Hill Road is one possible route to get around the closures. Along with this, since the bridges are planned to be constructed one at a time, once Halls Creek Bridge is completed, the option to use Railroad Road will also be available to route around Cisna Creek Bridge while it is being constructed. To wrap up, here is the proposed schedule for the projects. We just recently finished 60% design for the roadway. Structure design plans are to be completed by November of next year. After that, the biggest milestone will be what we call PS&E, which is when the final plans and construction estimate are to be completed. That is set for August of 2022, with plans to start construction in the summer of 2023. We'd like to thank you for your time and your interest in these DOT projects. If you have any questions, comments, or input after watching this presentation and reviewing the project information online, please call or email Jessica Bowker, the project manager, at 715-577-2963 or at jessica.bowker@dot.wi.gov. A comment form is also available on the website if you'd prefer to print, fill out, and mail in your comments. Mail can be sent to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, Northwest Region, at 718 West Claremont Avenue, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, 54701, to the attention of Jessica Bowker. Your comments will assist us in developing a project that will serve the needs of the traveling public as well as the needs of the local community. Your input is welcome and appreciated, and we look forward to hearing from you.